Welcome, traveler. Why do we fear clowns? Why do we turn clowns into movie monsters? Let's be real, there is something seriously eerie with clowns. Sometimes, though, it is hard to pinpoint exactly which element of the archetypal clown is responsible for giving us the creeps. Is it their multicolored one-piece suits? Or the frilly wigs they wear? And don't even get me started on the makeup. Their lipstick-smeared white faces with smiles that seemingly blur the line between mischief and menace. As seen in films and books like Stephen King's It, as well as the Batman franchise, modern media has time and time again shown us what the evil clown looks like. All the while telling us that real-world clowns are only innocuous greasepaint-clad entertainers at children's parties. Today, this contrast continues to terrify us. So much so that history has already seen the rise of clown panics and even the eventual birth of the fear of clowns. A fear that has people wary. A fear that we will explore. Do a quick search and you would learn that the evil clown is, in simpler terms, a subversion of the traditional comic clown character to depict a more unsettling persona than what we're used to. This literary trope is done by way of horror elements and dark humor, and though its origins remain unclear for the most part, its modern embodiment can be popularly associated with Batman's archenemy, the Joker. The character of the Joker has been around since 1940. While it is not the earliest appearance of a sinister clown in fictional records, it was the representation that paved the way for the march of other evil clowns in current pop culture, with Pennywise the dancing clown now seemingly carrying the torch on the behalf of its contemporaries. But in terms of who or what started the trope, it is a lot more complex than you might think. And it entails a journey that blends the fiendish and the amusing elements of the trickster archetype. For many of us, seeing a clown in the flesh could be quite daunting, to say the least. The good news is that we are actually supposed to feel that way. Truth is, it's not a matter of when or how clowns transform from funny to frightening. History tells us clowns originally dawned with some intent to perturb. Jester figures appear in practically all cultures, and African pygmies were the first recorded clowns in history, in at least 2500 BCE. Though they did not wear the evocative clown costume we know today, they were placed in Egyptian royal courts for a similar purpose, to amuse the Egyptian pharaohs. The pygmy clowns were respected in their day. However, not as much as the ancient Greeks revere Momus, the Greek god of satire and mockery, just as medieval European countries have court jesters, the highly respected entertainers' chance to ridicule the royalties without being punished. Rome also allowed its archimimus in serious functions like funerals. The archimimus would typically perform impressions of the deceased, and they were allowed to offend even mourning family members. Well into both the 18th and 19th centuries, clown figures persisted in various parts of the globe, especially Europe. It was during this time when renowned British pantomime Joseph Grimaldi honed his comic alter ego, Joey, the character that ultimately served as the prototype of the modern clown. Grimaldi was a master of physical comedy, and he wore a bizarre, colorful costume, as well as the iconic white and red face makeup to each of his shows. He was also the reason why clowns are at times still called Joeys. But behind the bright-colored persona Grimaldi plays on stage lies a tragic backstory that author Charles Dickens unfolded when he edited the mime's memoirs. Grimaldi was born to an authoritarian father, was depressed in most of his years, was unfortunate with his own family life, and was in constant, agonizing pain due to all his stunts. And that's where the concept of the scary clown gets started. A figure who was literally destroying himself to make his audiences laugh. And that's a brief look at where the fear of clowns began. In our next video, we'll take a look at where the fear peaked with the clown panics of recent memory. Thank you for taking this journey into darkness with us. We want to know your thoughts about clowns. My name is Sid Myers, and this is Lore Thrill. Sleep tight.